SCHD, the Schwab US Dividend Equity ETF, is one of the most popular dividend ETFs out there. It has a higher than normal dividend yield, a phenomenal history of dividend growth, and solid share price appreciation. And in fact, this is actually the largest position in my personal portfolio. But lately, I'm starting to see more people concerned with how SCHD will perform moving forward and whether or not it's still the king of dividend ETFs. So in this video, we're going to be looking into how the SCHD ETF operates, looking at historical data, and figuring out if SCHD is still the king. And if you want the free SCHD spreadsheet that I built in this video, you can just go to the link in the description. Now, you're probably already familiar with why SCHD is so popular. They've seen great share price appreciation over the years. They have a nice starting dividend yield, sitting at about 3.5%. And look at the dividend growth rates. The 3-year dividend growth rate close to 10%, and the 5-year close to 12%, and the 10-year dividend growth rate above 11%. So they have a phenomenal history of increasing those dividends over time. So the question is, what is the strategy they've implemented to achieve these results, and will that strategy help them achieve the same results moving forward? And the best way to find this out is to go straight to the source. If we go over to schwabassetmanagement.com, we can see the objective of the fund is before fees and expenses to track the total return of the Dow Jones US Dividend 100 Index. Now, that's a little bit of a mouthful, but it's very important we understand what's going on here. The fund is tracking an index known as the Dow Jones US Dividend 100. So now we need to understand, how does that index operate? And my friend SCHD Stan over on Twitter put out a great breakdown of this. Again, we can see they're selecting from the Dow Jones US Broad Stock Market Index, but keep in mind, REITs are not included, so there's no REITs in SCHD. Now, there's 3 initial screens for this process. First off, we can see 10 years of consecutive dividend payments. This is a good one because obviously the main reason most people are buying SCHD is for those growing dividend payments. We want to rest assured that management is going to continue to grow those dividends, and a track record of growing dividends is a great place to start. Now, the next one is minimum market cap of about 500 million. This is a good one as well. And then we can see 3-month average daily trading volume about 2 million. So you just want to make sure there's adequate liquidity there. Now, after these 3 initial screens, we can see all the stocks are ranked by yields. And after they're ranked by yield, only the top 50% are eligible for selection. And this is what helps SCHD have a higher than normal starting dividend yield. Of those stocks that pass that initial screen, they focus on the top 50% when it comes to starting dividend yield. And then after that, they score them based on 4 different things: free cash flow to total debt ratio, return on equity, indicated annual dividend yield, and then the 5-year dividend growth rate. These are all great metrics in my opinion. I talk about the importance of free cash flow all the time, and we also want to make sure the company doesn't have too much total debt. Return on equity is telling us how profitable the company is based on shareholders' equity. We have indicated annual dividend yield, basically what the expected dividend yield is, and then of course 5-year dividend growth rate. We want to find stocks that are growing dividends at a high rate, and obviously SCHD has done this well because SCHD has double-digit dividend growth rates. And so after this entire process, the top 100 stocks are selected for the index with a 4% cap per stock. So no stock should be more than 4% in SCHD, and as well as a 25% sector cap. So the sector shouldn't be over 25%. And then also keep in mind, stocks that are currently in the fund are retained if they remain in the top 200 by composite score. So one of the key things we have to understand as well is the stocks that are being held in SCHD are not selected by the fund managers. It is completely up to this methodology. Now, the last thing I have to mention about this is SCHD's annual reconstitution. And that's basically saying once a year, SCHD puts all its stocks through this scenario once again. And so, for example, we can see how the sectors changed for SCHD back in March when they went through their annual reconstitution. We can see 1 bank was removed, but we had 7 bank stocks added to SCHD. For example, we had 2 consumer durable stocks added, we had 2 energy stocks added, and we had 2 insurance stock added. If we look at some of the key stocks removed, we can see Paramount Global was removed, Tyson Foods was removed, Williams-Sonoma was removed. Meanwhile, we can see that they added Bristol-Myers Squibb. They added stocks like Hershey's. And a lot of the times, because SCHD focuses on buying stocks like we saw in the methodology that are in the top 50% of indicated annual dividend yield, they often buy stocks that are closer to their 52-week low, giving those stocks a higher starting dividend yield. For example, look at the Hershey Company. We can see over the past year, they're down about 4.61%, and SCHD recently added them to their portfolio. And if we look at the starting dividend yield history for this company, let's scroll down, we can see they currently have the highest starting dividend yield in the past decade. And obviously no strategy is perfect, but we can see overall the strategy has worked pretty well for SCHD. But let's address some of the concerns. If we come over to charting and look at SCHD compared to the S&P 500 over the past year, S&P 500 is up about 35%, Meanwhile, SCHD is up 20%. That's a pretty big difference. Now there's a couple things we have to make note of first. We're not looking at total return yet, we're looking at price return, so let's fix this. We'll come up here and select total return and update our chart, and if we look at the past 3 years, we can see it's quite a bit closer, and in fact, SCHD was outperforming the S&P 500 for quite some time during this time period, but as of very recently, the S&P 500 passed SCHD. Now, why is this? Well, if we look at a heat map of the S&P 500 year to date, we can see tech stocks have done very, very well, especially Nvidia, up 174%. We can see Amazon stock up 28%. Google up around 21%. And if we look at the holdings for SCHD and look at the sector breakdown, we can see they have only 10.54% technology, quite a bit underweighted compared to the S&P 500. So obviously with the huge tech boom in the past year, SCHD is going to underperform. But here's what you also have to understand. SCHD massively protects your downside. We can see when the S&P 500 was crashing, it was down over 20% back in 2022. SCHD was doing really well compared to the S&P 500. And in fact, if we look at the past 10 years, we can see SCHD has actually outperformed the S&P 500. SCHD has a total return of 191% versus the S&P 500 181.94%. Now obviously it's easy to pick and choose a time frame where one does better than the other, so let's go back even further. If we look at how SCHD has done since inception, they have an annualized return of 13.22%. And keep in mind, the start date for SCHD was October 20th of 2011. So obviously compared to the S&P 500, this is still a relatively new ETF. But even though SCHD has only existed since 2011, the Dow Jones US Dividend 100 Index has existed for much longer, and keep in mind again, that's what the fund's goal is to track. This index has existed since 1999, and this is where SCHD really starts to shine. Since the launch of the Dow Jones US Dividend 100 Index in 1999, it's way outperformed the S&P 500. Thanks again to SCHD Stan for sharing this chart, but we can see the hypothetical growth of $100,000 would have grown to almost $1.5 million with the Dow Jones US Dividend 100 Index. Meanwhile, with the S&P 500 back in 1999, you're sitting closer to around $600,000 to $750,000. And we can see the same is true starting in 2002 and 2006. This index has outperformed the S&P 500. Now let me be perfectly clear, I'm definitely not anti-S&P 500. I think that's a phenomenal investment for lots of people. But we often hear people now say, put everything into the S&P 500. But a lot of that is due to recency bias. They definitely weren't saying put everything in the S&P 500 last decade. Now why is this? Well, take a look. If we look at how the US market performed during the 2010s, like we already know, it did very well, 13.6% annualized returns. But look at how it did during the decade of the 2000s, negative 1% annualized returns. Everybody was rushing to get out of the S&P 500 during this time. We're talking about two massive bear markets, the beginning of this time period and at the end. Meanwhile, we can see emerging markets were doing really well, up 9.8%. And this was another time period that the total return of the Dow Jones US Dividend 100 Index did very well compared to the S&P 500. So again, it's imperative to understand SCHD does a phenomenal job protecting you from the downside. The decade of the 2000s was considered a lost decade of investing, but it wouldn't have been for SCHD. So we could sit here all day and talk about how SCHD's total return is versus other ETFs or funds, but it's clear from a total return standpoint, SCHD does very well and also protects you from downside risk. But you should also know the real magic with SCHD is in the dividend and the dividend growth that we see. Despite having a higher than normal starting dividend yield sitting at about 3.5% right now, the dividend growth has been phenomenal, and in fact I put together an entire spreadsheet to break down the dividend growth rates over the past few years. Now again, another reason a lot of people had concerns with SCHD over the past year is because last year's dividend growth rate was one of the lowest that the fund had seen. It was only sitting at 3.77% year over year, but look at the historical dividend growth rates: 13.9%, 10.8%, 17.64%, 19.79%. That is phenomenal dividend growth. So it's easy to see why this lower dividend growth was a little bit of a shock to a lot of people. And I think a lot were concerned, will this be the case moving forward? But look at this, the dividend growth through the first 3 quarters for SCHD so far in 2024. We're already at 14.3% dividend growth, and it's likely this will be slightly higher when they announce their Q4 dividend payment. Again, you can get this spreadsheet for free at the link in the description. So when I look at the methodology of SCHD, the historical performance, and things like the starting dividend yield and the historical dividend growth, it makes me realize this is still the perfect fund for my personal goals. The long-term goal of my personal portfolio is to one day be able to live off dividend payments. And it's worth noting, from a tax standpoint, SCHD pays qualified dividends which get preferred tax rates. This is even better for my long-term goal for living off dividends. So if you ask me, there's still no doubt SCHD is the king of dividend ETFs. It's important to keep in mind every type of investment strategy will have periods of underperformance when compared to the market. It doesn't matter if you consider yourself a real estate investor or a tech investor or a strictly dividend investor. You have to understand why you're holding what you hold and be willing to hold it through those periods of underperformance, and in fact buy even more during those periods. So if you're looking for a decent starting dividend yield, dividend growth, solid share price appreciation, and a lot of downside protection, then SCHD is a good dividend ETF to consider. It's also worth noting they have a very low expense ratio, and that can be a make or break for a lot of people. So go ahead and let me know what you think of SCHD in the comments down below, and like always, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.